Hi, good evening, Julie. Good evening. Thank you for coming back. Go ahead and have a seat.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, thank
That's
you.
good. That's good. All right. Well, before we get started, I would just like to review a couple of things with you. Remember that we will be video recording this session. So at any point, if you're uncomfortable with being video recorded, please let me know, and we will stop the videotape. This videotape will only be shared with my supervisor and potentially some other classmates. But again, if you're uncomfortable, we can stop the video recording. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
All right, and just to review as well confidentiality, whatever we discuss today will remain in confidence with myself. However, if you do disclose any abusive or neglect of children, I must report that. Also, if you threaten any harm to yourself or anyone else, I must report that. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
All right. Well, last time you came in, we had some discussions over some things that were going on. You were dealing with the issue of your children being taken from your home. And so we did discuss that, and you made some goals and some plans that you wanted to work on. So that's what we want to focus on in today's meeting. So can you tell me what's happening for you that's better?
Well, I looked into starting the GED classes to get my GED, and I have been able to make my appointments for my benefits and to meet and see the caseworker for the children.
Good.
And I have been looking for a job.
Good. All right, you stated that you are going to start your GED classes. That's really good that you are planning on furthering your education and finding ways to, gain more opportunities for employment. So, as far as your GED classes, how did you get enrolled in those classes?
Well, I figured if I'm going to tell my children that, it's important for them to get education, and I haven't even, finished high school or even have a GED, how can I expect them to take it serious if I don't do something different? And also, as part of uh, keeping my benefits, I need to either be going to school full time or part time, or going to work or something so that I can keep my benefits to have money to buy food, and also the caseworker at the welfare office, she said that if I'm able to do these things, they'll also help look into daycare too, because if, like I was telling the lady, if I don't have daycare to help with watching the kids, then it wouldn't make any sense for me to even try to go to school or to get a job, because I can't leave them at home, and I can't leave them uh, with just anybody, because that's part of the problem where they were taken away, because said that I was leaving them, and not taking care of them.
Well, I think it's amazing that you are setting an example for your children, especially in regards to education and getting your GED. So, how is it that you are working the GED classes into your schedule? What is it that you're doing to make sure that you attend those classes?
Um, well, I haven't actually started the classes yet. I just looked into when they're going to start, because it's so late in the year. Um, the lady at the community college, she was saying that the classes to either take the GED test, that you need to do those, and they won't start any new classes until January, because right now I guess they are just testing the people that had already been in there. lady was very nice, and I got her name and I got her number so that she said in January when everybody comes back that I need to make sure that I call her and so that I can get on the list so that I can get the classes and the times that I want. So, and like I said, the lady was very nice. She let me know that I can take the classes in the morning, which would be good because then I can take the classes in the morning while the kids are in school, the ones that school age are in school, and if I can show the lady at the welfare office that I'm starting the classes, then they'll pay, help me get neighborhood centers to where they'll watch the two younger ones, the ones that don't go to school, they'll watch them while I do GED classes.
Okay, that sounds like you are really working on getting your resources together to make sure that you're successful in getting to your GED classes. So, have you ever done any classes before, any kind of education or work on your GED before?
I um I tried uh I tried maybe a year after I dropped out of high school when I had my oldest son, but I was still dealing with his dad and still trying to decide, what was going to happen with that. And, even I remember at a time even thinking about, not even keeping the baby. So um, I think I may have went to one or two classes and then it just got too hard because um, I didn't have any way to get there. And, the difference, this time I don't have to depend on somebody else to get me there. If I get in the class that I want is close by the house, and I can walk and take the kids, walk the kids to school, and then walk the other two little ones to the daycare, and then walk to the campus at the community college where they're holding the classes, and I don't have to worry about somebody picking me up and dropping me off and, them being late. And, yeah, it's kind of stuff I've had to deal with in the past with trying to make my appointments and things like that. Have to depend on somebody else to pick me up or even standing out waiting on the bus. The good thing is everything is it's within a reasonable walking distance.
Okay, that's good. Well, it sounds like you're really committed to doing what it takes in order to be successful in earning your GED. So I'm really glad to hear that you looked into that process and you will be getting that started. You also said something else that was better for you was getting your benefits, that you've been successful in making appointments and getting your benefits. And I know we talked about that last time, that that was a concern for you, making sure that your children have something to eat really makes a big difference in how things go. So, how is it that you were able to start making your appointments to get your benefits?
Well, the the last time I went to my caseworker, um, she gave me a bus card, which means now I don't have to worry about hustling $2 to catch the bus back and forth. So, I have the bus card and I can make the appointments to, go and see her and make sure I take her the papers to show her, where I, signed up to, get the GED classes. Because even though the lady, I talked to her over the phone, I wrote her name down and her number so that the caseworker could see that I really was, looking into starting the GED classes. And, I've been able to use the bus card to make sure I make the WIC appointment and, get the mucus cereal and the juice and the eggs that they give me for for the little ones. So I've been able to do that, and I've been able to just use the bus card to go back and forth like I need to, and not have to worry about asking somebody to take me. I'm a little tired, because you have to get up, extra early sometimes to catch the bus and everything. But I'm glad I'm able to do it, because I'm not having to depend on anybody now.
So what is it that you need to do in order to continue ensuring that you have transportation, that you're receiving the bus card? Is there a procedure or something that you can do to make sure that that continues?
Yes, I have to make sure that I make all my appointments. Like making my appointment here today with you, that's a requirement, and I know it's a requirement, and I've been trying to make sure I write down all my appointments and the days and times so that I can make sure that get my appointments so that I can get my children back on a regular basis. Right now, I only get to see them every once in a while when the caseworker brings them by. I have to show them that even though they're not there, I have to show her that I still have, milk and cereal and stuff in the house for them. So it's been a challenge because I have to get on the bus to go to the grocery store and, get the food and, pack it back and forth. But, it's luckily the weather hasn't been too bad to where, I have been able to do it. So it's been working out.
Well, I'm glad to hear that everything's been working out for you, and it sounds like you've really been searching out resources and been using resources. So it was great that you were able to get a bus pass. That really helped lighten the load a lot. And good that you've been able to make your zip appointments to make sure that you have the food and the groceries in the house. So you've really been, using things that are available to you to make sure that you accomplish your goals, and that's really good that you've been doing that.
Everybody's been real nice, because I've had caseworkers, in the past where they just don't care. They don't care if you get what you need or not. But this lady, she's been real nice. I told her, you know, for me to be able to, you know, do what I need to do, the only way I can get it done is on the bus. And if I don't have a job for money, you know, to ride the bus, then I can't do it. So she helped me with the bus pass.
Well, that's good. And you stated that another thing that is going better for you is your search for employment. So how has that been going? What has been better for you in that aspect?
Well, what I have to do is, to keep getting the bus pass and to, continue to show that I'm doing things to, improve my life for myself and my kids. I've been, after I have to see the caseworker, um, I'll go downtown or I'll go to the mall and I'll have to put in job applications. Um, in the, very few places now you put in a job application on paper. So I have to take a paper with me to, have people at the place where I'm applying to sign it showing that I did do their job application online to try to find employment, and I have to turn that in to my caseworker every week to make sure that I continue to, get the bus pass and make sure she sees that I'm trying to, get employment so that they can set me up for the daycare. And I mean, it all has, purpose to it. I know, you get a little tired and frustrated sometimes, but but if my if I eventually want my children back, then I know this is what I have to do.
Okay. Well, I hear you saying, it's tiring and it is, exhausting having to catch the bus and going to different places of employment and trying to seek a job, but it's really good that you're putting forth an effort and you're showing that you are committed to doing what it takes to get your children back. So, what more do you think you need to do in order to actually obtain a job?
Um, I think part of the problem that maybe people don't want to hire me because I don't have money to, you know, my clothes. I try to wear what I think is, clothes to, look for a job, but I don't have very many clothes, and I have to try to, dress comfortable and dress safe because I'm walking and I'm standing on the bus stop and, you know, it's just not, always safe, for, me to be walking all the time, but, I guess, I guess one of the things it would take would be, probably for me to get my GED and to, get better clothes, to go to interviews on, the caseworker at the welfare office, she say they offer, like, classes on, how to interview and how to dress uh, and I guess if I show her that I'm serious, she mentioned it, but I don't know if it was true or not. She was saying that sometimes they give you some kind of voucher to help you go and buy clothes. So I'll have to just wait and see if that's true or not. But that would be nice, to be able to, buy some new clothes to, go and look for a job in and, maybe get my hair done nice.
And I remember from the last session that you did say that you have had employment before. So what is it that you did at that time in order to get a job?
Oh, that was just like a quick summer job, and it was in a restaurant, waiting tables. And not to say that's a bad job or nothing like that, but sometimes the hours are too sporadic to do that type of job with small kids. Cause I don't have anybody that I can leave them with if I have to work on the weekend. Because part of the problem with them taking them from me was that their dad was around and he was dealing drugs, so I can't have him around, you know, talking about watching the kids while I work. So I just have to kind of pick and choose jobs where I know the schedule is not going to be, changing all the time. But, that was the kind of job that was, but it was just for the summer, and I was pregnant then, so I couldn't work the whole time then.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you're still doing what you need to do in order to lead up to getting a better job, which is working on your GED and working with the welfare office to get, bus passes and vouchers and doing employment training. So it's good that you're doing the necessary steps to lead up to finding better employment. Okay, but it sounds like overall you made some good progress since the last time that we met. So I know we did some questions last time, and I just wanted to ask you again on that same scale of 1 to 10. with 10 being, accomplishing your goals, being where you want to be, on that scale of 1 to 10, where would you say that you are currently?
Um, I would say maybe a three.
Okay, and so you're currently at a 3 on a scale from 1 to 10 of accomplishing your goals. What would it take for you to move up to at least a 4? What difference would it take from what you're experiencing now to move up to a 4?
I guess just being patient with time because I know that I can't force the people to let me into the GED classes any faster than it's supposed to start. But me not being in the GED classes, um, I have to do get on the bus and try to look for jobs until the GED classes start and then the daycare will start. Um, so I guess it would take is just me being patient and waiting and making sure that when it is time for me to call the lady and try to get into the classes at the day and the time that I know that'll work for me, and I guess that's what would help move me closer to my goal from 3 to 4.
So you would, you want to be more patient with the process, but moving to a 4 would take you seeing some progress being made as far as accomplishing your goals, like getting your GED and finding a better job to help support you and your family. So that's what you would notice, as being different. What would your children notice as being different? How would they know that you have moved up higher on the scale?
Well, they would be home on a regular basis. Like I say, um, I don't, the, the caseworker, she brings them by, you know, when you see them, and, they don't get to stay. So, they would be able to stay home, they would see that as a big change for them. They would be able to stay home, and then they would see, they're going to school and mama's going to school, so, they would see that it's important for them to go to school and do that.
And so if your children were able to be at home with you and stay at home with you, what would be different in your household?
Well, because I was, you know, doing the things I need to do, they would see that, it's food in the house, and they would see that, I'm sitting down doing homework with them, and they're doing their homework, and I'm doing my homework. And they would see that I'm not just sitting around the house complaining um, and no food in the house, and they would see, that their dad is not around, and we're not fighting, and cussing and yelling and all of that because he wouldn't be around. They would see a happier house.
That's good. Is there anything else that's better since the last time that we met that's going on in your life?
Um, I've, I've been able to contact my contact my mom and see how she's doing and let her know what I'm doing as far as with school, trying to get my GED, uh, I don't know, I guess being a family again, uh, because they didn't like any of the guys that I was around, uh, and as long as I was, with them, my family didn't come around. So now that they're not around, I've been able to talk with my mom and talk with my sisters more, and just kind of be a family again. That's been good. I've been able to do that, and I miss it. And I see that they miss me. And just, I'm not calling them, asking them, begging them for money or something like that. So that's helped the relationship some too.
Well, that's great that you all are able to be a family again. How is it that you started communication back with your mom and your sisters?
Well, I was on the bus and I seen these two girls and they appeared to be sisters and they was real close and I just remembered how real close me and my sisters were and I just felt that it was time for me to call them and make sure that everybody was okay and let them know I was okay and so that my kids can have a relationship with them and have a relationship with their kids so that they know that they have cousins and they have family out there.
So what is it that you need to do in order to see the communication continue between your mom and your sisters? What can you do to make sure that you have that more often?
Since my mom is kind of old, she's getting up there. When I can, just take the kids by there and let the kids see her and let them spend some time with their grandmother. But once they get back and make sure I call her and just let her know that I'm thinking about her and let her know I'm not calling for any money or anything. And, nobody's in jail or anything. Just let her know that we're okay. And, would like to see her. And, just, I guess just make sure I call at least once a week or once every other week. Just let them know that I'm okay. Because I hadn't been talking to them at all.
Okay. Well, it sounds like, you have made some progress in regards to accomplishing your goals. You did say that you're at a three, and difference it would take to see you at a four would be being more patient with the progress and the process and accomplishing your goals, and that your children would be home and be staying at home would be something that would have to be different to move up the scale. So what number would you need to be at in order to no longer see me?
Well, I don't know if it's a number or not because I had to come to you already. Not that I don't like coming, uh, but I had to come because of the situation with my kids. So uh, I don't know if it's a number that I have to do, but it's up to my caseworker and what they say if I need to continue to come or if I don't, I don't know. I have to. I just have to. I just have to wait and see.
Okay. Well, what is it that you would like to see um, be different in your life to no longer have to come and see me? What would be different?
Um, I guess what would be different is I would, be able to do the classes and take the test the first time and pass it and get my GED and I would be able to get my children back and everybody would be at home and everybody would be doing fine. Uh, and I be able to, get a job to where I could, maybe eventually, you know, buy a car and maybe even get off of public assistance, maybe even find some place else decent to live where, I'm not, my kids can go outside and play and I'm not worried about somebody snatching them up or something. Not that, everywhere in America that I'm sure there are some safer places that I can be living for my kids where, they can go outside and play or they can leave their bike on the front porch and not worry about it getting stolen. And maybe even be able to buy my children a bike without having to depend on somebody else giving it to them.
Well, I mean, you have a clear picture of the goals you want and what you would like to see different in your life. So, what I would like to do is take a break and again just review the information that we've discussed thus far, and then that way I can provide you with some feedback. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, so at this time, if you don't mind just waiting out in the waiting area, and then I will let you know when I'm ready to come back to